Welcome to the first module in this course. In this module, we will cover what a brand guide is and how businesses use brand guides to ensure a consistent look and feel with every interaction that they have with a customer or potential buyer. This module is a high-level overview to prepare you for the future modules in which we will dive deeper into creating your branding. In this module, you will learn what a brand guide is, how a brand guide strengthens your brand, and how famous brands use brand guides. Let's get started. A brand guide is like a rule book for how your brand looks and sounds. Imagine your brand is a character in a movie. The character has a specific way of speaking, dressing, and behaving. A brand guide helps everyone involved with your brand stay in character, ensuring consistency no matter who is telling the story. Now, if you're a solopreneur like I currently am, you may be thinking, I don't need a brand guide. It's just me, and I know what I want. Or I've got it all right here. To that, I would say inconsistency in your branding will kill your brand identity faster than you can create it. So I hope you'll stick with me. I believe you'll find value in this course, and my goal is to give you the knowledge you need to build a brand that'll make you money. In a brand guide, you will typically find the brand mission and values. This section provides an outline of your brand's mission statement and core values. This part of the guide ensures that everyone working with your brand understands its purpose and what it stands for. Second, we have logo usage. These are the rules about how to use a logo, including size, spacing, and placement. It often includes what not to do with the logo, too. Next is the brand color palette, i.e., the specific colors that represent your brand. These are shades you'll use in everything from your website to your business cards to ensure a cohesive look. Then we have typography. This includes the fonts your brand uses and how you use them. For example, which fonts are used for headlines, body text, and any special text. It ensures that all your written materials look consistent. Next is imagery style, which are guidelines on the type of images that align with your brand identity. This can include photography, illustrations, icons, and graphics that fit your brand's style. Then we have messaging, which includes key phrases, taglines, and content pillars that encapsulate what your brand stands for and how it communicates its values and promises to the audience. Finally, we have tone of voice. This is the way your brand speaks. Is it friendly and casual, professional and formal, or maybe quirky and fun? This section helps everyone from your social media manager to your customer service team maintain a consistent way of communicating. And if you're a solopreneur, this section can be very useful when you need to write new copy for your website and you're staring at a blank page. Tone of voice gives you a starting place and reminds you how you want your audience to perceive your brand. And I'll tell you a secret. It's also very useful for giving ChatGPT better quality prompts. Think of a brand guide as your brand's best friend, ensuring it always looks sharp, speaks the right language, and presents itself appropriately across all platforms. It's essential for building a strong, recognizable, and trustworthy brand that people will love and remember. Now let's take a look at how some of the biggest brands use brand guides to propel their marketing success. Let's start with Starbucks. After all, who doesn't know Starbucks? Whether you love them or hate them, you have to admit that they have their branding down. For example, there was recently a new building going up on a corner lot near our house. Before any signage was installed, my husband and I had a pretty good idea it was a Starbucks based on the shape of the building and the materials used in the facade. Now that's the power of a strong brand. There's no logo needed to communicate who it is. Starbucks shares their brand guide freely on the internet. So what I'm showing you here is their current brand website, and you have the URL for it in your Module 1 handout. To be clear, I have no affiliation with Starbucks, and I didn't work on any of the branding. What I'm showing you here is what is publicly available on their website at the time of this recording. On the right, you'll find all of the items that we just went over: logo, color, typography, etc. Let's take a quick look at the logo. In this section, they show you the siren logo as well as the word mark. One kind of cool feature of this site is that you can change the background color to see how the logo looks on various brand colored backgrounds. Next, we'll go into color. You will find the standard Starbucks colors here, but you will also find their seasonal campaign colors. If you're a person who feels too boxed in by having to stick to a limited palette, the seasonal campaign idea is a way for you to maintain the consistency necessary for a strong brand while having some flexibility. You will notice, though, that they always include the Starbucks greens as the starting point for every palette. Here are Starbucks typography guidelines and the font families they use. As you can see, there are various options under each font. Finally, we have image styles broken into illustration and photography. One thing I find interesting about Starbucks is how varied their illustration styles are. I think it works for their brand since they have different product lines and the illustrations can be niched down to the products. But on a cautionary note, I think another reason they can get away with this is because they have a massive advertising budget. For a new business just starting out, I would not recommend so much variation in the illustration styles. For photography, they specify that photos should be product based with limited use of people. Note this line, the goal. Every photo and video is identifiably Starbucks. How do you think they do it? If you're noticing a lot of greens and neutral colors, that's not by accident. Incorporating brand colors in your photography is a great place to start. We'll return to this concept in Module 5 when we talk about brand imagery. My next example is the TripAdvisor Brand Guide for Partners. Again, this is something that is publicly available on the internet, and I have no affiliation to TripAdvisor or the creative work in this guide. TripAdvisor's guide is a PDF, which is a more standard format than the fancy Starbucks website that we just looked at. This is a better example of what you will create or have built for your business. Looking at the table of contents, you will again see those key topics that we talked about earlier: logo usage, typography, and color. Because this guide is for partners who are not creating messaging, they haven't included tone of voice and key messages. They do, however, have additional information that is necessary for a partner. We don't need to dive too deeply into this. For now, I simply want you to get a sense of another type of brand guide and see a PDF version. So I'm going to quickly flip through these pages. Here you can see TripAdvisor has an extensive section on appropriate logo usage. We will return to this in Module 4 when we talk about logos and explore why a business may need all these options. Moving on, you can see that they have a clearly specified brand color palette, just like Starbucks. These numbers and letters on each color signify how to achieve that color in various digital and print applications. You don't need to worry about that right now. We will go over those in depth in Module 5 when we talk about brand colors. Finally, we have the typography section. Just like Starbucks, TripAdvisor specifies their primary font and gives acceptable alternatives. And that's it for now. Do you feel like you have a good sense of what a brand guide entails and how it's used? In your module PDF handout, you will find links to the Starbucks and TripAdvisor brand guides, as well as some brand guides we did not go over in this video. I encourage you to use these when you're creating your own brand guide. In this module, you'll also see a lesson called Link to Canva Template for your brand guide. This is your workspace for building your brand guide step by step as we move through this course. By the end, you'll have a polished, professional guide that makes it easy to stay consistent every time you communicate with your audience. Plus, it's a tool you can share with team members or contractors so they represent your brand the way you want. But let's not stop there. Are you ready to put your learnings from this module into practice? For extra credit, I encourage you to take a break today and go to Starbucks for a coffee or a tea. Take your laptop and plan to lounge around for a bit. While you're there, pull up the Starbucks brand website and compare what you see in the store to the brand guide. I suspect that you will notice that everything from the decor to the menu to the advertising relates back to the brand guide in some way. Enjoy your coffee break, and I'll see you in the next module,
where we will dive into target audience research so you can learn who your audience really is, step into their shoes, and uncover what they truly want.